Hey guys, this is day 2 of my Bible study, and today I'm going to be reading Genesis chapter 2. So, the heavens and the earth and everything in them were complete. And on the seventh day, God had completed the work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, for on it he rested from all his creation. So as we can see, God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy for it. For it, he rested from all his work of creation. So that's when the Sabbath was created. Now, I think somewhere in the New Testament says you do not have to follow the Sabbath, but it's I think it also says some in Hebrews that it would be a good idea for your to do for your sake, not for legal reasons. So you should rest one day of the week. You shouldn't just walk all the time. But anyways, these are the recordings of heaven and the earth, and concerning their creation. All the time that the Lord God made the earth and heavens, no shrub or field had yet grown on the land, and no plant of the field had yet sprouted, for the Lord God had not made it rain on the land, and there was no rain to water the ground. If you see Genesis chapter 1, it says in verse 11, then God said, let the earth produce vegetation, seed being plants, fruit trees, and earth bearing fruit with seeds in according to their kind. And it was so. The earth produced vegetation, seed bearing plants according to their kinds, and tree bearing fruits with seeds according to their kind. And God saw that it was good. So this seems because no shrub or field had yet grown on the land, and no plant of the field had yet sprouted, for the Lord God had not made it rain on the land, and there was no man to water the ground. This seems like contradiction, but if you actually read the whole creation, which goes from chapter 1 verse 1 to chapter 2 verse 3, this is an entire summary of all the 7 days of creation, not in detail. Now this is about more in detail about some of the creation. This is just a summary. So that's the reason why it seems like a contradiction, but it's not. This is just more detailed example of it. But mist would come up from the earth and water all the ground. Then the Lord God formed man out of the dust from the ground, and breathed the life into his nostrils, and the man became a living being. The Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and then he placed the man he had formed. The Lord God caused to grow out of the ground every tree pleasing in appearance, and good for food, including the tree of life in the middle of the garden, as well as the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river went out from Eden into the water of the garden. From there, dividing became the source of 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pishon, which flows through the entire land of Havel, where there is gold. The gold from that land is pure, beryllium, and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is Gihon, which flows through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris, which runs east of the Syria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. Lord God took the man and placed him in the Garden of Eden to work it and watch over it. And the Lord God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree of the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for on the day you eat from it, you would certainly die. So you can see, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for on the day you eat of it, you will certainly die. Now Adam didn't instantly fall over and die, or Eve when they ate the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, but they became mortal and had a lifespan and eventually die. So yeah, so they did die when they ate the fruits. They became mortal. Then the Lord God said, it's not good for man to be alone. I made a helper corresponding to him. Lord God formed out of the ground every wild animal and every bird of the sky, and brought each to the man to see what he would call it. Whatever the man called a living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all the livestock, to the birds of the sky, and every wild animal, but for the man no helper was found corresponding to him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to come over the man, and he slept. God took one of his ribs and closed the flesh at its place. Then the Lord God made the rib he had taken from the man into a woman, brought her to the man. And the man said, "This one, alas, is bone of my bone, and of the flesh, and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman, for she was taken from man." Then the Lord God made the rib he had taken from the man to a woman, brought her to the man. You might have heard this before from other people, but like, people say, "Oh, woman wasn't taken from his head to rule over man, or the heel to be under the dominion of the man. She was taken under the rib, because like man and woman are equal, but like in different ways. They have different roles. So a rib supports it supports like the lungs and the heart. So a woman's voice, it supports the man. That's what I think. But like obviously they are man is not more important than woman. Woman ain't more important than man. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and bonds with his wife, and they become one flesh. Both the man and his wife were naked, yet felt no shame. So, as you can see, this is Genesis chapter 2, and this is by more in detail. That's the reason why when in Genesis chapter 1 it says like God made man, then God said, "Let's make the man in our image, according to our likeness. They will rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, livestock, the whole earth, and the creatures that crawl on earth." So God created man in his own image. He created them in the image of God. He created them male and female. That's just a summary. All that was a quick summary of what happened. And this is more of a detailed account of what happened. So yeah, but yeah, this one was shorter than the last video. Also, if you haven't seen the last video, you should probably watch it, because it's Genesis chapter 1 and this is Genesis chapter 2. But yeah, once again, if I was wrong about anything, correct me in the comment section. But yeah, and if you like this video, like it, and if you think it was good, subscribe, and thank you for watching, and I guess bye.